Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Look, your benefit is going to disappear in 10 days. This is a very, very crucial time for everyone. You need to make sure that if there is the most minute possibility of qualifying for anything in the PACT Act, a presumptive condition through the PACT Act, that you act now. You need to do one of two things. You need to either file your claim prior to August 9th, which is in 10 days, or you need to file an intent to file before that date, and that will preserve this date that you file that as your effective date in the event that you end up filing your claim. Now, what happens, here's the special part, this is the magic. If you file an intent to file, and that preserves your effective date, it's in the window of opportunity where they will actually back pay you 1 year prior in today's world because of where we're at. They'll back pay you all the way to August 10th of 2022. So effectively, you can drag your intent to file out now a 2-year block. This is huge. You need to make sure. I'll give you a couple quick examples of what you need to look for. Then I'm going to dive into a quick article from the VA regarding this and share that with you as well. The quick 2 examples. 1, you're a Vietnam vet. Actually, I'm going to give 3 examples now. You're a Vietnam vet and you have high blood pressure. Maybe or maybe not, you filed a claim before and you were denied, or you never filed a claim before for it. You're a Vietnam vet who has Agent Orange presumptives because you were boots on ground or you were within 12 nautical miles for the blue water stuff that went through several years ago. Now, high blood pressure is a presumptive condition. You do not need to prove that the service caused it, right? Because they already presumed that it did. So it makes it very easy for you to get awarded for that presumptive condition. You just simply need to submit proof that you have high blood pressure, hypertension, and you need to show that you served in one of the designated areas for the Agent Orange presumptives. Okay, that's one example. Next example is you're a Gulf War vet in one of the areas in which are described for a PACT Act, and you have sinusitis or rhinitis or whatever. There's a whole list. The bottom line is you need to go through it and read them and see if you have any of those conditions. And maybe you filed for it before 3 years ago and you were denied. Maybe you didn't file it, but now it's presumptive conditions. Sinusitis and rhinitis, right? So those are 2 on the Gulf War side. You can file for it. Now what's going to happen is if you can't file for it by the 9th, you need to file that intent to file, because that will lock you in and will, once you actually do file your claim within a year of your intent to file, they will back pay you all the way to August 10th of 2022. That's huge. Now the third example is you are a surviving spouse, and your veteran spouse who passed away had one of the conditions listed on all of the presumptives. Okay? Now, if they had one of those conditions and they passed away from that condition, or that condition can be linked as a contributing cause, follow me here. There's 2 sections on a death certificate: cause of death, and then they have contributing cause to death, right? So, for example, cause of death is heart attack. Contributing cause to death is hypertension. So, oftentimes, they don't put a contributing cause. They just put the cause of death. But you, as the surviving spouse, can say, hey, look, I need to get this death certificate amended and add this as a contributing cause to death. And as long as it makes sense, and you might need to get some, a doctor's opinion or whatever on it, but as long as you can get that put on there, the VA will look at contributing cause to death as cause of death for this benefit's purpose. So the benefit of dependency indemnity compensation is huge. And this is the same situation. You can get back paid to 2022, August of 2022, if you file it. So make sure that you're doing everything you can do to protect yourself. Now, again, if you don't have any of the conditions on the presumptives list, but you served somewhere in either the Vietnam Agent Orange areas or the Gulf War areas that are described in, or the Camp Lejeune stuff, if you have served in any of those locations, file an intent to file for just in case. The just in case factor, just in case something pops up in the next year, I know I'm covered, right? Make sure you do it. Now I'm going to jump into this article real quick. The headline is, Larry, have you heard about the PACT Act? Spreading the news about the PACT Act. This just came out on July 30th, yesterday. And this is, again, on the VA's website. Larry Wilson, a housekeeping aide, often makes my day during his rounds. I can count on the gentle knock on my office door and that familiar greeting, Miss Curtin, something. How are you today? And do you need your trash emptied or a new trash bag? We talk briefly, and then I turn to my computer and he to his work as the door closes. Our usual small talk got serious one day when I asked Larry about his Vietnam service, the Vietnam veteran ball cap he wears with the Ranger roll ever present. Have you heard of the PACT Act? No, ma'am, he replied. I grabbed a flyer and I explained the PACT Act to him. He listened, thanked me, and carried on with his work. Concerned, I shared my encounter with a colleague. Concerned because our facility walls, tables, and digital display monitors have had PACT information on them for months. VA is advertising the PACT Act on social media and promoting it on radio stations locally and across the nation. VA senior leaders are actively engaging and discussing the landmark legislation. Fayetteville, North Carolina VA was even selected to participate in the VA National PACT Act Week of Action in December 2022. Spoke to everyone at his staff meeting. Despite all of that, Wilson didn't have a clear understanding of what the legislation could mean to him and millions of other veterans who served during the Vietnam War, Gulf War, and post-9/11 eras. I realized there was more work to do. I called the Environmental Management Services chief and asked to speak at one of their staff meetings. 2 weeks later, Wilson stopped by my office with the same knock and the same greeting. But there was something a little different. Instead of waiting for my response, he kept talking. I just want you to know I went to the Cumberland County Veterans Service Office and completed my intent to file. He smiled, and so did I. The intent to file is a veteran's way of letting the VA know a claim is coming. For Wilson, that means a PACT Act claim. Now again, I'm going to veer from the article. Filing an intent to file, especially in today's situation with the PACT Act, preserves your effective date in the window for PACT Act additional back pay, driving it all the way back to August 2022 if you file your intent to file by August 9th. Okay? If you file your intent to file by August 9th of 2023, you'll have 1 year from then to file your claim, and then they will back pay you up to that full year plus all the way back to August 22. So effectively up to 2 years worth of back pay. Huge. August 10th, PACT Act deadline. When President Biden signed the PACT Act, August 10th, 2022, it initiated one of the largest expansions of VA benefits in history. And this is new benefits, new VA benefits, new presumptive list benefits for disability compensation from the Department of Veterans Affairs. Huge. This includes extended VA health care enrollment eligibility to Vietnam era, Gulf War era, and post 9/11 veterans. The PACT Act added more than 20 presumptive conditions expanding benefits to Vietnam era, Gulf War era, and post 9/11 veterans. Check out the complete list of presumptive conditions and see how to file a claim. I'll put it in the comment section or in the description below. Share this information veterans submitting their PACT Act related claims or intent to file before August 10th are eligible for benefits backdated to the date of enactment, which is August 10th of 2022. If you believe you are an eligible veteran, act now on your PACT Act claim. Again, my suggestion is, at this point in the game, if you're not ready to file your claim, just file an intent to file. That will save you. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.